It's Adrian Bowe, CEO of Adrian Bowe Auctions and Training, and also Chief Auctioneer for Ray White, the Tesla Group in Quakers Hill. I'm coming to you with my weekly auction wrap for the weekend of the 24th and 25th of May. Now, providing you a national holistic view of the auction market throughout the nation in Australia. This week we had around 2,400 auctions, which was an outstanding number given it's up 34% from this time last year in 2024, and the biggest weekend since Easter, which is terrific to see the inventory levels increasing there. Highly led by Melbourne with over 1,200 auctions and Sydney by over 800 auctions. Now, last week, Australia as a nation saw a terrific auction clearance rate there of 65%, which is the highest we've seen this calendar year because they have been averaging around that high 50s, very early 60s. So a very compelling statistic there, and certainly one to provide confidence for both buyers and sellers. Outstanding time to buy and sell. It's a very sensible market. I wouldn't be waiting, if you're a buyer, for interest rates to come down further. That could only result in an increase in pricing. And if you're an owner, I wouldn't be holding out, because if you're holding out in terms of waiting for interest rates to potentially spike prices, then we will have a supply and demand issue, which is more impactful than interest rates. So a great time for both stakeholders, buyers and sellers, to transact and lubricate the market, and we will see the economy certainly be the beneficiary of that in terms of secondary industries such as construction, real estate, accounting, etc. So a terrific time in this calendar year. Now, as we saw this week, the cash rate was reduced from the Reserve Bank from 4.1% down to 3.85%. That's a 25 basis point reduction, which was highly predicted, and there's multiple reductions also predicted by the major economists and the major banks for this calendar year, potentially anywhere between another 3 to 5 for the remainder of the year. Now, that particular reduction that we saw this week has been similar as terms of the 3.85% cash rate to 2012, which is 13 years ago. So the identical cash rate to we saw 13 years ago in 2012. So it's good to see that recalibration. Now, what does it mean for a mortgage holder? What it means is you've got a home loan, say, of $1 million, that's a saving of about $8,000 per year, which will certainly assist towards the cost of living crisis throughout Australia. And what it also does for the average buyer is increase their borrowing capacity by about $15,000. So that's terrific for both buyers and sellers, given that extra flexibility in the marketplace. And as we also reported last week through Čorszá, we have seen that home value index, which is not just clearance rates, but the national value of property throughout Australia, increase month on month for the first time in many months, and outstanding for those quarterly rolling figures to increase there by about 0.7%. Terrific outcome there. So the market is definitely heading in the right direction with increased national values of properties and a decreasing environment in interest rates. And as I also reported last week, a reminder that the residential asset class of real estate has increased from around $11 trillion in Australia to $11.3 trillion, which is the most powerful asset class in Australia, which outweighs all others, including superannuation, commercial property, and obviously the ASX as well. Now, over the weekend, I conducted many auctions and two standout results for me in particular. One was with Sam Yazdi, Ray White Quakers Hill, the Tesla Group. The Persian Prince, Sam and his team, outstanding agent, outstanding team specialising in that Doonside, Woodcroft, Seven Hills market. And what an auction we had there at 5A6 Avenue in Seven Hills. We had 20 registered parties. The land was just under 700 square metres. The home itself was uninhabitable, so it certainly is going to require either a major renovation, perhaps even a reconstruction, and of either a new home or perhaps a dual occupancy. So all type of buyers we had interested, developers and also homeowners looking to add value to that home because it did have solid foundations in terms of a brick construction there. So outstanding result. The owner was delighted. He's moving to Queensland. We had a local buyer who's going to be looking to add value to that property. But with 20 registered bidders and with that type of competitiveness, the auction went on for approximately half an hour. So terrific outcome, and certainly very comforting in that Seven Hills and surrounds marketplace for you. Then I conducted another one for 𝐻𝐿𝐦𝐞𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐬 and his team, outstanding team, as you know, being the chief auctioneer here at Ray White Quakers Hill. And this is an interesting case study in that what we're looking to do and what I'm advocating all my clients to do at the moment is, if a property does pass in at auction, give it 7 to 10 days breathing space in a private treaty capacity. And if it's not under contract, then keep the urgency up by conducting another auction campaign. And this is exactly what happened here at townhome number 5 at One Bird Place in Trige, where we auctioned the property 5 weeks ago. It passed in with no bids, and yesterday we had 4 registered bidders, multiple bids, and it sold well over the reserve price. So it's amazing what can happen in a very similar marketplace when you sit down with your owner and conduct an audit on how the property's marketed, how the property's presented, how the property's priced, make recommendations, adjust all of those levers that we can control, and then provide forensic communication to our sellers and also conduct incredible buyer work. And what can result is this type of activity when we create that urgency through another auction campaign. So I'd be highly recommending that to you, and certainly start talking about that with your clients as a potential plan B, rather than just private treaty indefinitely until the property does sell. So thank you for joining me. God bless. Live with virtue as always, and I'll see you next week.